This is the Dental Up Podcast, your daily source for insights from dentists and leaders in the industry. Brought to you by Keating Dental Lab, a full-service, award-winning dental lab that is here to add value to your dental practice. With high-quality restorations, friendly, reliable service, the best products and prices, come experience the Keating difference. Visit KeatingDentalLab.com for details.
Dr. Freitas, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on the Dental Up podcast.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you as well. I'm excited to be here.
Dr. Freitas, you've been one of our most valued Keating customers for so long. I think we're talking before the meeting at least 9 to 10 years now. I've been a big fan of your work. I see all your preps and everything so nice and clean, and everything looks great. Tell us about some of the patients you were treating this morning.
So today it was kind of pretty typical morning. It's looking at my schedule here. I had a couple deliveries. I think back-to-back crowns, had very, very little adjustment on them. I think I lightened the contact on one just a tiny bit. But other than that, you guys made the start of my morning very easy. And crown prep after that, a few fillings, which were fun to do with join the hard tissue laser community recently.
Oh, okay.
We're able to do a couple of fillings without any anesthesia, which is always fun, especially on the kids. And then some new patient exams and some limited pain patients, but it's been a pretty low-key, regular morning here.
Yeah, that's a good variety. That's what being a great general dentist is all about. Let me back up. Let me ask you where you went to dental school and what year you graduated, and let's just kind of take it from the beginning.
All right. I graduated from University of Southern California back in 2009, the last year before they switched the name to Ostro.
Right. Fight on,
Yeah,
by the way.
Absolutely. It's been a fun football season so far.
Yes,
Fight on.
it has. Homecoming on Saturday. You going to come down?
Oh, no, I wish I could, but unfortunately not able to. I was originally planning on being in Southern California for a dental meeting, actually, but coaching Little League Baseball, so not able to get away on the weekend.
Oh, I understand that. But hey, you got to let me know anytime you're in town and the Trojans are playing at the Coliseum. You let me know, and I'm going to take you to a game.
Absolutely. I will take you up on that stuff.
Fantastic.
You're warned. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I would love to. So what was your first job like out of dental school? Where did you go to work?
All right. So 2009, that was the Great Recession. So
Oh, yeah.
my first job would be 4 different jobs. I was in 4 different offices, 1 day a week.
All in the same city?
Yeah, it was unique. At least unique to the time. I think probably a lot of my classmates had similar situations. I worked in very different offices. One right here, kind of across the street from where I practice now, and it was a fantastic husband and wife team that I work with. Fee-for-service office. A lot of what I do now is kind of modeled off the way they had built their practice from decades ago, and it was amazing. I had some work with some good dentists and other practices. I had some challenging offices that I worked in, but yeah, I was in a lot of situations. One office where they didn't employ hygienists, dentist did all the hygiene, and I was running around like a madman. I worked in an office just treating kids in Denti-Cal situation. And then one fee-for-service office that I talked about, like that's here in my area. And then another office I commuted to was kind of a typical PPO practice with a really great dentist and a good experience. So I kind of, the first couple of years before I kind of went out on my own, I opened different styles of dentistry that are practiced here.
Right. That's life. And that's being a dentist in America. There's tons of different options and avenues. And it sounds like you modeled your practice after the husband and wife team. And I know you've been tremendously successful. Was there anything in particular that you took from that job and employ now, or was it just kind of everything they taught you did?
I think it was everything. I wasn't able to start out right away with the practice model they had. They had a 30-year run of fee-for-service in the area, long time goodwill in the community back from when they were the only or one of 2 dental offices in town. And they were able to build up from that without having to deal with the PPO world. So I took a lot from them, trying to transition more and more to what they had, but still working at that. But a lot from the other kind of PPO office that I was working in, and just building relationships with the patients more than anything. I'm lucky that I practice in my hometown. So there's a lot of people who have known me forever. It's the first patient I talked about that I saw this morning with the crowns. I went to preschool with her daughter.
Oh my goodness. That's cool.
She's come in with preschool pictures at times, which is embarrassing, but I had more hair then, which is good at least.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love it. And that's what the profession is all about, connecting with patients and really establishing trust because
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
let's be honest, there's so many offices and styles of practice where the dentists don't really have the opportunity to listen to the patient maybe for a couple minutes. They don't have the opportunity to really connect on a provider to patient level, and everything's so rushed. But again, I applaud you. I'm a big fan of your work and of
Yeah.
your style. I can tell that you have your patient's best interests at heart when you're treatment planning and when you're providing restorations for them.
Yeah, we do our best here.
Tell us when did you open your own practice? Because you're solo practitioner, correct? You don't have any
Yeah,
associates or
I'm solo working by myself. It was a scratch start in 2013.
wow.
So like I was saying, I think I started working with you guys pretty quickly after that. So you've seen me grow from probably when I had less than 100 total patients through the door. And I don't even know the total number now, but it's kind of in the thousands. So it's
It's
been a
gotta
change over the last 9.5 years.
yeah, it's gotta be more than that for the amount of lab work you generate. You're very busy. It's awesome.
I've definitely been blessed with a good patient flow here. So, yeah, I mean, get a lot of patients who send in their whole families, and it's. I've been lucky, kind of with the demographics I have, and working in my hometown. So, probably
Yeah.
able to grow there quicker than I might have. I
Right.
was in a
Well,
big city that I was new to.
yeah, and word of mouth advertising is still the best because that goes back to you taking care of the patient and they're comfortable with you and they're telling their family or their friends, "Hey, I got Dr. Freitas. If you ever need any dental work, he's the best." And
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's like we haven't done any outside marketing for probably 5, 6 years now, and just kind of rely on like word of mouth, patients sending in friends, and they're the best kind of patients to have.
that's right. That's brilliant. Absolutely. There's no barriers to break down. Nobody's
Mhm.
walking in your front door with a coupon in their hand and slapping it down at the reception desk. Like,
That is just, I know a lot of people who like we love good reviews and everything, but I feel a lot of the patients you get from like the Yelp and Google reviews and everything, they come in almost like a threat with you guys. "Oh, I found you guys on Yelp. I'm a big Yelper."
uh-huh.
Just like they'll take care of me or else. And it's just, I don't know. It's great when somebody comes in. "Oh, my daughter's seen you for years and we moved to be closer to the grandkids." That's what I love.
Oh, that's a great story. Wow. So tell us about the evolution of your practice. How you started, how many hygienists you started with, and what you're up to now in terms of staff and everything.
All right. Yeah. So it was a scratch start. So basically just a handful of friends and family were the ones I knew I would be counting on in the beginning. And I started with me and one assistant who also handled all the phone duties, and kind of slowly from there added a part-time hygienist, had a full-time person doing the front of the office, and kind of grew from that part-time hygienist to her being here every day to two hygienists being here every day. So right now it's me, the two hygienists, a front desk, which we're looking to add another one here. So I've been going through resumes and everything this week.
Well, that's
And
fun, isn't it?
yeah, right now we have the one regular RDA here, and we have an extern from one of the assisting programs. So it just started this week, which I haven't done before. So it's kind of a new experience trying to help somebody get their foot in the door and learn what it's like to be chair side.
That person's probably
Yeah.
seeing patients live for the first time.
Oh, she is. And I mean, so far she's been doing good, but It's the first time we've done anything like this. So my assistant was asking, like, how do we want to do this? It's just like, you've been through this before. I haven't. So
Right.
what did you want to learn? I want to make it a good experience. He's like, well, I was crying a lot during mine. It's like, we don't want any tears. Let's see what she wants, see what she needs, and see how much we can help her. And hopefully it's beneficial for both of us.
Oh, that's a very kind approach. That's very smart. I know you're a great mentor and you're going to teach her a lot. Awesome. So going back to the beginning, do you remember how you found Keating Dental Arts? We were Keating Dental Arts back when we started this relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. So I found out about you at a place where I found out a lot of good stuff when I was opening my practice from scratch, Dental Town. It's
Yeah.
so when I was in my associate days, kind of found out about it. I think Howard Ferran, he was speaking with the local dental society components and found out about Dental Town, started lurking a little bit every once in a while, put in my 2 cents on a comment, but just once I got going with starting a practice from scratch, I was living there. And like, you guys have such a good reputation on Dental Town, and so many of the big townies use you and swear by you that it was kind of a no brainer to try out because I was starting from scratch. I didn't have an existing relationship with anybody. So
Right. Yeah. Hey, we have John Kanka coming down on November 5th. I'll save you a seat if you want to see him live.
I absolutely do. I'll need to make sure on my calendar, but no, if he is coming down there, I 100% want to be there. It's just, he has been so like integral to the way I practice my bonding and composite routine. And it's just the way his mind works and how he shared it is great. Now, if he's down there, I definitely want to be there. So
Yeah.
count me in.
I'll definitely put you on the list and I'd love for you to be my guest. That'll be fantastic. We'll follow up with the details
All right.
after the recording. But yeah, Dr. Kanka has been one of our mentors. He's helped us produce better lab work as well. It's been great. Having him as one of my personal mentors is one of the most positive things that's happened in the last 20 years for me. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, I feel there's a lot of CE I've taken where I've gotten great pearls and a lot from, but there's a few people I've seen or just even read their work or just seen them on forums where I've got much more than that. And he's definitely one of those people. So anytime there's a chance to hear him speak, I will do what I can to be there.
He's coming all the way out to the West Coast from Connecticut. It's going to be a full day program on Friday, November the 5th. And I'll make sure I get you all those details after we're done. But I want to switch gears now because you're an integral member of the California AGD. How did you get started with the AGD? And you received your mastership, and that's fantastic. That's less than 1% of dentists nationwide, and you're one of them. So congratulations on that. How did you get started with the AGD and specifically with the leadership of the California AGD?
Oh, well, first off, thank you very much. That was something that I always been wanting to get done, and I was glad to be able to get that checked off my list. So
It's a tremendous accomplishment.
yeah, so I'll kind of have to start from the beginning with the AGD. The AGD at the time didn't have too big of a presence at USC where I was at. They do now. They've got a really good like student relationship going with a current AGD member, and it's been great for current students. But that wasn't there when I was there, and I knew it existed, but I wasn't involved or a member at all. And when I was doing one of my days associating an office an hour away, I was just chatting on the phone with the guy I used to carpool with, and he was telling me how he joined and how he was wanting to work towards his mastership. And I'm very much a goal oriented person. It's if you don't kind of have the intention to do something or set those goals, I think you can just be out there floating. And whenever I set those goals and have intention to do something, I notice I'm at my best. And he was telling me about the mastership, and it seemed like a really good thing to try and work towards. So I joined and was slowly taking courses here or there and submitting them to the AGD and building on my transcript. And a little bit after that, I found out about a master track program that they have. Most states have it. California has a fantastic one. that I was lucky enough to be a part of. It's a 4-year continuum with kind of everybody with the same goal. And join that in that you get a lot of camaraderie. It's kind of like the best dental study club you're ever a part of because you spend so much time together and everybody's kind of at the same point in their career education wise. We might be from different practices and we're definitely from a bunch of different backgrounds, but y'all kind of are learning about the same things at the same time. We're trying to improve on those things at the same time. And some of those people that I was doing with were very involved and they got me to start going to meetings and started going to more meetings and snowballed from there, joined the board of our local Sacramento Sierra AGD component here in California. And then from there, eventually the state board. And I've been boards are blessed enough to be able to serve as treasurer the last couple of years and just kind of be there for all the discussions on everything they're doing for the general dentist here in California. And it's kind of nice to know what's going on because we don't hear too much about the stuff until it's much further down the road. So it's been a big blessing to be able to get that information, but just have a voice in the profession and try and protect it it's a nice opportunity I'm fortunate to have.
No, absolutely. I've long been a fan of the AGD, and it's always been my opinion that they're the biggest advocate for the general dentist and not necessarily the ADA. The ADA seems more political, in my opinion. We won't talk about that. The AGD is about education and teaching better skills, new techniques, giving you a larger toolbox, if you will, so you can treat more patients and you can provide better dentistry. What a wonderful goal to have to undertake the burden of the mastership program, because that's not easy. That's is a commitment on your part. And
No, it is. And I'm very thankful to my wife for allowing me to do it. It is a lot of time at home. I started when our son was probably a year or 2 years old. And it's a lot of those long weekends where I'm gone and sometimes I can talk him into tagging along and spending a little bit of time at Disneyland because we're down there in Southern California for it. But
that,
not always able to make it. And it was a lot of CE and a lot of time away from home. So it's just definitely blessed that my wife was understanding and like supportive and just allowed me to get that done. So I can grow in this profession. And it's incredible to me where I'm at now versus where I was a few years ago and where I was a few years before that. And it's just, you can always be better. And it's the AGD really provides that mind frame that you're a lifelong learner and yeah, education is a huge part of it. But yeah, the AGD is by far the strongest voice for, I think, the dental profession as a whole, but definitely the general dentist more so
yeah.
than the group.
Oh, definitely. It's so important to really have that philosophy that you're a lifelong learner, because if you aren't learning new things, you're going to get left behind. And the AGD has fantastic educational content, but also has the framework to really be the continuum after dental school so that you can perfect and master your craft. We're so honored to be a part of the AGD network. Our message is thankfully getting out there to more AGD dentists across the nation, and our lab's been better for it. The dentists are, better at treatment planning. They're better at cutting preps and taking impressions or digital scans, and they're better at the delivery because you guys have more knowledge and more hands-on training. So it's a fantastic partnership for our laboratory. And all of us here at Keating, we're going to do whatever it takes to continue to support the AGD at all levels. Let's go back to the state level. You started to get involved in the political structure and the ladder at the California AGD. You're currently the treasurer?
Yeah, I'm currently the treasurer and the nominee for incoming vice president. So if everything goes to plan, I'll be serving as vice president next year. So no, it has been great. I'm
Good. You got to
going
get.
to serve with a lot of really talented and really dedicated people here in California. We've got a very, very strong constituent here, and it's kind of mind blowing just the wealth of knowledge and like passion that people have in this state. And I sometimes just sit back and hold on for the ride because there's so much to learn from these guys.
That's what the profession is about, is having a great mentor that's willing to pass along some tips or techniques or even just practice philosophies to the younger generation. And I know when you get up this ladder, you're going to do the same for the younger generation for sure.
We need the younger generation. We're built on the back of where we're going. So
Right?
it's just so much of how where the profession goes is the new people coming in and just making sure they're able to get their foot in the door. They're able to have private practice and they're able to not be forced to go into corporate. It's not like we learn a lot from the people who came before us, but I think the profession, it's so much more dependent on just making sure the young people coming in are able to invest in themselves, have a private practice and get those relationships with people and not be the employees. It's best for a lot of people for family life that they don't work for themselves, but we don't want to go down the path that medicine has gone in the last few years.
Wow,
And
definitely.
we need to kind of maintain our
What do
autonomy and just
Right. We need balance in everything. There is a role for corporate dentistry in this world and environment, but we need balance. We can't be 100% corporate or 80 or
absolutely
90%
not.
corporate.
I mean, there is a lot of value to there being kind of those models. Not a lot of dentists want to work for themselves, and they provide care to a lot of patients that are pretty financially with like different practice models. It's when you're seeing one patient at a time, you can't see the Denti-Cal type patients and keep the doors open. And you do need different practice models. And
So I'll tell you a real funny story real quick. So my father went to SC, graduated in 1967, was in the stands for the OJ years and the John McKay years and everything like that. He said to this day, the best thing that happened to him was he had a private practice in Huntington Beach. He said the best thing that happened to him was corporate chain. I'm not going to name a name, but they opened across the street from him. So he automatically had an endless supply of patients that were unhappy over at that place and would just literally just drive across the street over to him, and he was able to practice for 52 years. But
wow, congratulations to him. That is a solid career. I definitely get what he's saying. A corporate office opened here in Brentwood where I'm at within a couple months of me opening the door, and it was a practice builder for me.
yep.
They market like crazy. They get a lot of people who have been staying away from dentists in the door. And sometimes they will scare the patient into thinking they have a
Right.
lot going on.
Yeah.
At that point, they're already
Who-
back to the dental world. So they'll reach out. It's like there are a lot of patients coming into me with copies of their both
Oh yeah.
X-rays and Nano on top of that and everything and treatment plans. And yeah, a lot of times I agreed with it. Sometimes there are little differences in philosophy, but yeah, they probably got more people in my door with their marketing than I did without marketing. So
Yeah, congratulations. I love it. And that's exactly those words that my father used to say. That's life. And, you're going to scare a patient away with a $25,000 treatment plan and sign here, and we're going to get going tomorrow. Or you can take care of the person, which I know you're taking care of the person, not just the teeth.
that's the goal. That's why we build those relationships.
We're done bashing corporate dentistry for now, but before we hit record on here, we were talking about the care stream. Tell us how you've incorporated technology into your practice and how it's allowed for better treatment for your patients.
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever I talk to a younger dentist and they ask for like any advice, it's the first thing I always say is invest in yourself. You'll never regret taking a CE course. You may not get anything from it, but you'll always have that knowledge. And before you do anything else, technology wise, otherwise, learn about it. Take the CE. That is where I stand. But the next best thing after investing in yourself is investing in your practice. It almost always has a positive return on investment. When I was starting with my Carestream scanner, I was doing it because I had recently taken a lot of implant courses and I got the cone beam to be able to tell which cases were the cases I wanted to treat. I still refer out most implants. I wanted to treat the home run cases, but I liked having that peace of mind and having the cone beam and knowing exactly what the bone was looking like as
Very
close
smart.
to it as possible before going in. And at the time, I was thinking I'd want to do some guided surgery. So I got a 3D printer and I got the scanner and I was figuring I could make my own surgical guides. And I still do that on occasion, but most of the cases that need the surgical guides, I still just refer out for my comfort level. And I got the scanner and yeah, I use it for just about everything now that I was doing with Alginate or BPS before. And it's been great. I started off with the Carestream 3600. I chose Carestream purely because it had very high ratings, but more importantly, it did not have any ongoing monthly fees or annual fees. I like when I buy something, then I have it and it's mine and I don't have to pay to keep using it. Like a lot of the other scanners or companies that just try and get you locked into the system. And Carestream was completely open. I could get my STL files. I can just put them in whatever computer program I wanted when I was trying to make the surgical guides or print models. And it didn't cost me anything other than what I paid to get the scanner. So it was great.
Very cool.
I
Very user friendly.
absolutely super easy to use. And there's a lot of great scanners that are out on the market now. And I'm very happy with my choice. After a few years of the 3600, I upgraded to the 3700 and got the new up to date software and still not paying a monthly fee for anything. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, no, it's a good solid scanner. It does everything I needed to, and I don't pay anything ongoing with it. And the support on it has been pretty good. I haven't had too many issues with them. So, you can't say that for all companies. So,
No, that's true.
yeah.
And they've always been a company that's been built on customer service model. And when there's issues, they solve it for you because they want you to be a repeat buyer as you are. And they're not going to sell you something and charge you exorbitant monthly fees or data exchange fees or anything like that. It's a very nice business model that I'm a fan of.
Yeah, but Carestream just sold the intraoral portion of their business to another company, so that's now separate from the rest of their imaging. And I know, like the Carestream portal, I think is going to become the Dentrix portal. So
I think so.
yeah, I got a email on that this week or last week, and I don't know when all that change is happening, but yeah, they've sold off that. So I'm hoping with the new ownership of the scanning, it still goes as it has in the past. Because it was like Carestream, they treated me well and fairly, and I never had any issues with them. So hope it
Yeah,
continues.
I agree. I hope it continues because for us, from a lab perspective, it's very user friendly, very easy to use. We go to the portal, we retrieve your STL file, and we can put it into any of our different design software systems. And again, it's very simple and very easy. And as it is for you on your end, it's very cost effective for us.
No. It is fantastic, and it's the way dentistry is going. It's nice not having to store all those impressions. You have them forever.
Right. Yep. As long as that cloud doesn't rain too hard on us, which in
Yeah,
California, I guess it never does, but
not too often, but yeah, when that dog eats the night guard and the patient comes in, it's just like, oh, well, order a new one. You don't have
yep.
to come for the impression, and we can save them a couple bucks on the turnaround because we don't have that extra cost. We still have the lab fee. You guys are obviously making it again, but it's just like I don't have to charge the patient as much on my end because I don't have to see them that extra acquisition appointment.
That's
So
right. It helps facilitate patient care. That's for sure.
yeah.
What are some of the most common types of restorations you're prescribing with keating?
So you guys do all my fixed cases. I would say I'm probably 50-50 with Emax and the KDZ aesthetic
Right.
is our,
Aesthetic. Yeah.
yeah, I use the Roxer aesthetic quite a bit with you guys. It's a really, really good looking zirconia, and it's like a lot of times able to use it in the anterior and it works great. I still do a lot of Emacs because I trust that lithium disilicate bond a lot more than I do the zirconia bond. And sometimes you need that, but yeah, those are my two go-tos. But if I'm doing a bridge, I think we're using the KDZ Ultra a lot with the layered porcelain on top of it. And it's just beautiful work that I don't have to touch up too much with the burr. So it's,
Yeah, the metal-free dentistry, like you said, the KDZ Ultra, we use a high-strength
Mhm.
zirconia frame, and it's Nortaki CZR porcelain
Mhm.
layered on top. And really, the KDZ Bruxer aesthetic, the high translucent zirconia, we chose it specifically because we felt that the optical properties were as close to Emax, lithium disilicate, of any zirconia that we tried and tested. So, yeah, we chose it almost purely for its aesthetic value. It's still very strong. It's over double the strength of Emax. It's a fantastic restoration. I love it. And it's tremendously versatile. Just like you said before, even some anterior cases, anterior full coverage, single units. KDZ Bruxer aesthetic is a beautiful restoration. If you need a bond, you go with Emax, like you said. And yeah, our metal free department here is growing every week. It's crazy.
and that's not to say I'm not having good results with the metal ceramics too. And like the full gold crown, still doing those. I don't think a USC dentist doesn't do gold work forever, but yeah, we're not doing,
Did they still teach the 7/8 gold crown prep when you were there?
they did. Yeah,
Wow.
we're not doing too much of those, but every once in a while I still am. And I don't want to say it's probably been less than a year, but you guys made a beautiful gold crown for me on tooth number 8 or 9 here. And I have a really happy patient. That's all he wanted his whole life was a gold front tooth. And
And I think, didn't we call you and say, was this a mistake on the drop down menu?
oh no, it was so a little bit different than that. You guys made a beautiful crown, stained, layered, it blended perfectly with that. And like we were about to cement it, and the the patient right before I was getting the cement ready, he looked at it. He's all, "I can't do this. I can't do this. My whole life, I want a gold tooth." And it's just like, "Oh, okay, let's talk to your wife.
Yeah, right.
We can do that." It's like we've had this one made, and it's going to be a lab fee on top of it, but I'm not going to charge any extra to have it done because we haven't finished this yet. But yeah, it's if you can get the okay from your wife, yeah, we can do that. And it's just like it was, I don't know, it's a lot of it
Have
had those big cases when you hand the patient the mirror and you're just ready to see
Yeah.
their real smile.
Uh-huh.
And it was like that with him with the gold tooth up front.
Oh
And it's
my
just like
gosh.
he was as proud as can be. And
Ah, that's cool.
it's just like not the gold work that we usually do because gold work like that, I, people are not choosing gold for cost because gold is expensive now. And
Yep, absolutely.
like a lot of the aesthetic dentistry is actually more affordable,
Right.
but it's just the aesthetic thing is, I think, the other driver. And for him, the aesthetics dictated gold. And he was
He's
there a
obvious.
couple of weeks ago for a recall appointment, still happy as can be. And it's still shining like new.
Oh, that's cool. That was gonna be my next question. Have you seen him since the delivery appointment?
Yeah, I have. And it's just, he's happy. I'm gonna probably have to talk him out of just doing gold crowns on all the other teeth because we're not going to do unneeded dentistry to needed a crown.
No
And that's
kidding.
my goal, but it's just
Um,
we're not going to start cutting down teeth just for aesthetics.
no, absolutely not. We had a case several years back where it was a musician, a jazz musician, saxophone player in New Orleans, and he kept chipping his maxillary incisal edges, take his instrument in and out of his
Mhm.
mouth. And the dentist in New Orleans had a very creative approach, created very minimal preparation veneers, less than a third of a millimeter. And we actually just created gold facings and cemented them on, and it protected the rest of his
Oh
dentition.
wow, yeah. No, I've had a few musicians like it seems the trumpet players are the ones that usually are breaking them for me.
No, yeah,
Especially the jazz when there's a lot more showmanship to it. And I feel you get a lot of the concert musicians, they're kind of holding the instrument up there, but like a lot of the jazz musicians, it's a lot faster paced. They're moving it. Their movement's part of the entertainment show, and it's
absolutely. They're feeling
drama
it
happen.
to their core, and
Yeah.
they're dancing with
Yeah.
everybody else. Again, I want to thank you for your time. You've been very generous with your time and all your words of wisdom here. But what do you like to do when you actually have some free time? What do you guys like to do?
Oh, so it's free time. That's nice. And my wife and I, we have a 7-year-old, and
Oh, wow.
right now that's dictating most stuff. I'm coaching fall baseball right now. So we gave the kids a practice off tonight where we normally meet, but usually practice a couple days a week in the fall and then game on the weekend. And yeah, just try and spend time with family and friends. And every once in a while, get lucky enough to go off on a little vacation or do something outdoors. So
Cool.
yeah.
What's the name of his team?
So right now, fall ball, we don't have official team names. So they
Oh,
just
okay.
get jerseys and you can come up with a name if you want. Our color is Vegas gold, which
Oh,
is unlike any sports team I've ever seen. And the kids decided to call themselves the Dragons. I was pushing
yeah.
gold crowns, but
Right.
none of them had any interest in that. But yeah, we are the Golden Dragons, and we just had a game against the Bucketheads, which orange. I think people spend a lot of time with those orange Home Depot buckets. So
Yeah.
yeah, fall ball is interesting. Last season we were the Pirates, so the gold tooth also would have been applicable.
Yeah, definitely. No A's or Giants, huh?
I am a huge A's fan.
Okay.
Their last game of the season right now, and yeah, I grew up a big A's fan. I try and get to as many games as possible. In my undergrad days, when I was up here before dental school, split a pair of season tickets with a good friend and got out there a bunch. It's a little harder now with family and work obligation, but no, I'm a
Hear you.
A's fan. I've always been. I don't dislike the Giants. I'll root for them as long as they're not playing the A's. But if they're playing the A's, I hope they lose. But my wife and I actually were at the Giants game this last Saturday. Got some really good seats gifted to us and made a day of it. Dropped my son off at my parents' house. He got a night with the grandparents.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we got a little date day in San Francisco, parked, walked to the game, and then came back and got dinner back here in the East Bay area. So
Awesome. What's the commute like from your home in Brentwood to the ballpark? How long does it take?
if I'm going to the Coliseum for the A's, it is probably about 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Traffic. Get into San Francisco is probably an hour, hour and 10, depending on how it is with the bridge. Bay Bridge always will
Yeah.
blow you down.
That's about the same for our commute time here down from Orange County up until LA. So I,
Remember when I was in dental school there, I lived in kind of North Orange County, South LA County border.
oh, okay.
Carpooled with a buddy, and we had an hour in the car each way. We're just going over flashcards, studying, and calling each other's patients and setting up appointments and getting all that other stuff done that we have to do once we got home anyway. So saved a little bit of rent living not in downtown.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, and the school's changed quite a bit. It's gotten really big. But when you
That-
come down, I want to take you to a game and it'll be a great time with Lincoln Riley and the new regime, man. It was 5 years of, I had a hard time. I had a hard time staying till the end of the game a lot of weeks.
Oh no. I hear you on that. I love watching them play. Didn't want to miss a game, but those Pac-12 after dark games when they'd start at 7:30 or 8, it's just like, why am I staying up so late to watch this? It's painful.
Yeah.
And
Thankfully.
it wasn't just the last 5 years. I think it's been so painful before that. I was very fortunate to go to dental school during the Pete Carroll years, and I had 4 Rose Bowls that they were at my 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
It was high standards that I got from that. But no, it has been a ton of fun. I have patients that are transplants from LA coming in, and they know I'm a SC guy, and before they even say hi, like they're talking about Lincoln Riley and we're talking about high school recruiting again. I know it's a lot of fun. I mean, with one patient, he was in here and we were talking about a high school player up in Sacramento who we hope signs with USC. And when USC is not good, I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
appointments talking about high schoolers in Sacramento.
Yep. My son goes to Modern Day and school starts like second week of August. And you drive through the parking lot and you see all these cars with Oregon and Alabama stickers and the kids, the football players with those hats on. And here we are now, first week of October, and
Yep.
that's all changed. Everybody there is putting on the Cardinal and gold again.
Absolutely. It's good to see. Modern Day should be the USC main pipeline. They have a big game coming up this weekend with Bosco.
They do. Yeah. Friday night. Yep.
Yeah,
Can't get tickets for that because there's
no, I heard it sold out in like 5 minutes. Originally, when I was supposed to be in Southern California this week, and like I said, I was going to see if I could try and figure out tickets to the game. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of top recruits.
well,
It's a great game. Often do the number 1 and number 2 teams in the nation in high school get to play each other. It does not happen too much.
No, it doesn't. And if you come down, if you can make it down for Friday, I'm going to steal my son's student ID and you can sit in the student section.
Oh, I wish I could. It should be fun. It's like our De La Salle High School, which was
Right.
like one of the big football powerhouses in the country. Like they were in league out here when I was growing up. So we had to play them on the schedule. So when you have that big Catholic school that beats down on you every year, you tend to start to root for the team that's playing them and going to beat them. And that's how I started paying attention to Modern Day, because back 20 years ago, those were the only 2 powerhouses. Bosco wasn't doing what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. De La Salle, they didn't lose a game for what, 7 or 8 years in a row?
Oh, longer than that.
Longer than that? Jeez.
Yeah, it was. I think the streak got up to 150, 160 games.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible. Yeah, it's my senior year. I was a low-level high school football player, enough to be on the roster, not be a big player in the game. But I think we scored more points against De La Salle than Modern Day did that year. We gave up like 3 times as much as they did. And it wasn't a close game, but that was kind of our bragging point. I think Modern Day was a top 5 team in the country, and we were able to score more points on them that year. But yeah, we weren't the same team. But yeah, it's stuff we're talking about now that with Lincoln Riley that we would not be in a dental podcast talking about.
Right. Yeah, if we did this last year, nobody's talking about Clay Hilton. Well, thank you so much. Thank you again so much for your time. I'm going to get you the information for John Kanka's course. And yeah, anytime you make it down here and want to go see a game, let me know. And
All right.
We'll do it.
All right. No, that sounds good to me. Like, I love watching them play. And with this move to the Big Ten, they're not necessarily going to be up here in the Bay Area once a year like they have been. So
unless Stanford goes with them.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Dr. Freitas, thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. All the best to you and your family. And again, thank you so much for being one of the most valued Keating Dental Lab customers we have. It's been a wonderful 10-year run, and I can't thank you enough for all your support.
Well, I thank you guys for making it be an easy choice. And yeah, you guys take care of my patients very well. So it's like I don't have to worry about it. So
cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Dental Up Podcast, your daily source for insights from dentists and leaders in the industry. This episode is sponsored by Keating Dental Lab, here to add value to your dental practice. With high-quality restorations, friendly, reliable service, the best products and prices, come experience the Keating difference. Visit KeatingDentalLab.com for details.